excited to cast our first esports boxing match between these two next teams. It's the Houston Outlaws versus the LA Gladiators in leg day. You know that Houston were...
Try and take a little bit more physical cover. At the moment, Kevster all the way in the back. Oh, at least Scude's been caught out.
Oh, and an anti-need actually saved Scude, and he... that didn't work out. Shu still died.
Not.
It did not. Gladiators still ended up killing more. They're missing out on Shu. Gladiators have really good scouting. Patapan, as the overclock, has sniped Iris. At least Reinhardt's positioning, or did have positioning, on the cart against Dante. Lastro with the Transcendence to help stabilize the team. Houston have warded away the primary engage factor of Gladiators. And now it's a duel of the DPS where Merit's overclock.
Lastro in the crosshairs of Kevster as well, getting so low, and Kevster's too damn good for this. Reinhardt's arrived as well. With those forward spawns, Lemon, the pace of the fight is going faster and faster and faster for the Glads.
Good frag from Lastro. Gladiators are finally weakened. And now there's the resources coming in with the Transcendence, but the burst of the Pulse Bomb is still too much. The Gladiators take back the Nano to Reinhardt, who's been slept. Shu has been stunned up by Dante, so this is the moment for the Outlaws to carry this momentum. Trades back and forth. The Gladiators don't have healers, and Houston Outlaws are finally starting to take way. 20 meters now.
Able to at least try and pick up the health back, but at this point it's just additional ult charge for Pelican. Trances have been exchanged then. What's going on over here?
This is both teams not really knowing if it's winnable and investing ultimates just to make it happen, and ended up a 3-on-3. And when I last left, he's completely surrounded. He's been nanoed by Shu, but it's just so much pressure. Gladiators were still rounding the corner and had no line of sight on Reinhardt. And like as we said, as Reinhardt drops, the rest are supposed to % additional knockback that Hammond has. I like this choice from Reinhardt, and he was one of the few contenders tanks that was known for how good he was on the Hammond, and we've already talked about his flexibility. 3-man pile drive into the swipe of Kevster, and they match, and Outlaws, they'll fall back.
Kevster can now just hang out easily here within the zone of influence of the Ana, try and dive in alongside Rhino, who's got plenty of burst. However, look at that, the counter, look at these Zenyatta assists in the kill feed. Lastro's on it. Shu exposed for the moment and hands over Nano.
Oh, the Nano Blade, and Reiner is helping out, but it's too late, and Lastro and Pelican are down. You managed to stop Kevster before he could do too much damage, so the numbers are pretty equal, and Reiner Transcendence Force out of the Gladiators in a 3-on-5 just to see what they can find. Any trades at all. Reiner pile drive right on top of the cart, but it's not enough to bully Dante away. So the Outlaws have done more than enough work at this part of the map to capture B, and I'm not sure Gladiators have much of a recontest.
So the way that Houston are winning so many of these comps is by denying.
Dante just gets nanoed and jumps immediately onto Shu when asleep. But Dante is still could have done more, but all of Gladiators just coalesced on the one target to burst him down. Odds is picked off too, and well, the Overclock wants to do the same thing, and Merit's doing a good job. He's in the backline, he's going after Scude, and he just can't afford to lose more. And at least Outlaws recognize that, so you can use Transcendence just to keep the pressure on this defense. But Gladiators are coming back with Blade. They won't have Nano, but let's see if Kevster even needs it. About to swipe onto Merit and looking for more. You see that Kevster's got the help of his team. Reiner's by his side, but no longer. But it's still more than enough for Gladiators to stop Outlaws in their tracks.
No nano given, but no nano needed. Dive with a naked Genji.
Oh, look at this dive from Kevster and Reiner. Reiner's stunned up, but he's able to use Primal in time, and Kevster's been antied, and a soft disengage as Reiner takes the attention. Somehow his Merit has snuck into the back, but hasn't made much of a splash. So it's yet another fight that Gladiators take without losing a single person. Kevster, though, or Pelican, is in range, uses the deflect in case Ons was charging up. It swipes down on that. Brigida skewed misses, but it's been nanoed, and you know the Gladiators need to sustain. It's overtime. This is the final push for the Outlaws, but they focus fire every target down at the Gladiators, who had nothing, no space, and no real estate to operate.
From the LA Gladiators, potentially a nano Kevster being joined by Reiner, but Lastro, what's he doing? He's in the backline.
He said, "Stop sniping me, boy." Give him the backhand of the law. And Reiner slept, but he's woke and he has Nano, so Gladiators have to commit without Ons and without Shu as well, but the damage has been done. It's a 3K from Kevster. Looking for more. He can be aggressive thanks to the Primal. Dante landing in the face of danger. Reiner still has to pop Primal, and Ons is missing. Now Shu as well. Gladiators being overly patient with ults in the moment that they need to win the fight the most. And Merit is just slaughtering this backline.
Outlaws invested.
Reiner uses Primal, and there is the blade from Kevster. The Nano to assist from Shu. Iris is gone, and Outlaws, so they have the healing to keep this going, because that Nano was given to Lastro for the sustain, but it's Outlaws that need the damage. Dante was able to make an impact and remove the tank of the Gladiators, but Outlaws barely have any space left. Merit is a true danger in this fight, and Gladiators finally look his way. And Gladiators will cap point B and have a lot of time for C.
I talked about how all of the fights, all of the ultimates used in the previous fight were worth it for the...
Communicating with Reiner, making sure he's up to full. There's this jump up there from Kevster, no immediate Nano response. The Nano's instead given to Reiner. He needs to take the attention away, but the counter Nano to Dante as he mirrors the dive in the backline has immediately found Ons, and Kevster not able to do anything either. So Gladiators took so long to set up and it didn't pay off.
Yeah, the poke was so strong, but Reiner was afraid to go into the 1 versus...
From Spawn, they have limited heals, but they still have skewed. Outlaws will have one last contest. This is for the map win for Houston Outlaws to tie the series, and it starts off well. Ons is on the bridge, gets to pick away at the reinforcements of the Outlaws. It's insane what Ons can do if you let him have the freedom to do just that. Gladiators will finish...
Able to take point A here, and here's a quick look at how Ons just domineered the end of Gibraltar.
It's just a god spot. I mean, you have to do everything you can to get any range DPS off of this, whether it's a Widow, Ashe. So
see, if Outlaws were only going to have one person on cart, maybe Kevster could have forced another C9. That's a big ante. Dante and Pelican hit, and Dante at least survives, but can't say the same about Lastro as Gladiators found their window of opportunity off of Shu and have stopped Houston Outlaws halfway to point A. They're the ones on the attack. It's the box of victory and overtime into effect. The bubble laid for Reiner, allowing his supports to get into more comfortable positions. Pelican is already forced to recall. He has the pulse bomb. He can make a play for the Outlaws. And what happened?
Who's seen
Gladiators?
Oh, it's Outlaws again!
Again! Moment to cut off his rotation. He might have knocked up Kevster, but there was someone else from the Gladiators in the back line, so Outlaws are making sure to clear everything up before they go forward.
Gladiators playing it raid style, juggling the aggro into the back. Reiner's done so much to Iris.
it's working out. No supports for the attack of the Outlaws, and that's why you cannot let anyone from the Gladiators into your flank, because Outlaws, it's going to take a lot more time for them. Wants to give the nano to someone. Kevster has a blade. Zashua, it's too late to deliver it, so Kevster goes in without it, but he's blocked by the Transcendence of Lastro. So Gladiators, it's taking a full amount of time to kill stuff, but Outlaws are dead in the water.
Merit may be able to get an exit pick, but it's only a consolation prize. Lemon Houston Outlaws.
For reinforcements, it's Outlaws that have to touch. Merit is there. No C9 today, but it's only death for him. And who is next? It's Pelican. Lastro's at the back. Iris is still getting back. Dante has to be next to touch. Pelican's forced to use recall, and he's not going to live for much longer. Dante now has to face a Transcendence and 4 members of the reinvigorated Gladiators, who are seconds away from almost full holding the Outlaws, who only got 66%. That's an ouch. Might want to hold sleep for the Reiner engage, and the pulse should finish him. Reiner is down. Gladiator doesn't need any type of pick to make this winnable, but it's Merit who's just dipping right now, and Pelican is pressuring the supports. Scoot's on the brig, and he's been nanoed, I believe, but because of the ante, there's really not much survival left of the Gladiator supports, but it's because of Patapan's double kill and Reiner being back in the picture that Gladiators could turn this around at all. They started the first tick. Outlaws still have 2 members on the point, make it only 1. It's Dante left to touch, and no one is home for the Houston Outlaws, so the Gladiators will sweep 3-0.
And Shu stays alive long enough there to get the nano onto Skewed on the brig, activating the rally.